It grows. Okay. So it's really interesting. So started this 5 years ago. So go ahead. Yeah, yeah. So I'm just bringing a time capsule from November 2019, where George Furcan and Karen Miohas said, "Hey, Gordon, we should create a data governance group." 2019, as you might know, there was a health issue the next year, and so this is the renewal from the ashes kind of thing. Okay, and just to make it fast, so what happened there was we had a crowd about this size. I mean, data governance is always popular. So basically went into breakout groups, 4 of them, I think it was, and they worked out some issues and made some recommendations. Excuse me. So basically, they decided that DAMA-Vancouver and data governance SIG should integrate rather than creating a separate entity with its own building, et cetera, et cetera. And we're thinking that the cost for meeting and the coffee and stuff could be generated from the premium membership. And we're thinking that might be a structure to enforce that, because there's some other issues coming up here. Oops, let's see.
So we should join premium memberships as part of the.
Sorry, yeah, sorry. I have to, it's really interesting. I keep using this backwards. It's maybe interesting just to me. Sorry, the memberships and confidentiality issue is, yeah, so you're thinking that might be a way of enforcing a little more control on the membership, just to create a data governance special interest group that supports the members, so and enables you to get advice without having it appear on ask a difficult question without having it appear in the headlines the next day, sort of thing, right? And education, this was, yay, a success. There was discussion of creating a peer study group for the CDMP. And we're now in our 4th year of that. I think we get about, I think there's 80 people in this year's. And, 20-ish write their exam every year, get their certification, like Kathy just talked about. Sponsorship, there's really not a lot of cost to this, right? So I don't know that we need sponsorship. And as Sarah alluded to, if you're in data governance, you get pinged a lot. So we're probably not going to invite recruiters in to make, and same kind of idea for vendors. Tools are good, but maybe specific presentations on the stack, or maybe a beauty contest or something like that, but tools are not the focus. Some ideas that were put together years ago, and sadly, they haven't really changed much, probably, right? If you look at it, you'd probably say, yeah, I want to know that, I want to know that. So this will come out in the slide deck. Reiteration of the importance of confidentiality, and maybe setting an NDA or something. We don't know yet, right? So this whole idea is setting it out as it seems like there's a need, and we could maybe suggest some structure for it, but it'd be great if volunteers kind of magically appeared and said, yeah, let's get together and do this. And we could start with a group of 10 to 20 people and try it out and evolve over time. Uh, and yeah, I wanted to reiterate that tools were not even on the list of things that the four different groups created. They didn't even mention tools. Like, which tool should I use? They all understood that it's process and people. Sorry, I borrowed that slide. Thanks, Sarah. Yeah, so this is roughly where we'd like to head, the direction we'd like to head, or think this might be a worthwhile direction. And we just had whatever 47 or 48 people stay to hear about this. There's a lot of interest, I think. And 49, sorry. Isn't that interesting that somebody, you can mention a number and people will believe you, right? See if I can turn off that quickly. So these are kind of the rough steps we're thinking of doing. And I think this will work with the overlords because I used OpenAI to generate the tasks. So kind of a no-brainer. And so if I could just get a show of hands, how many people would be interested in this going forward? Lauren? Yeah. Okay. And don't keep your hands up because I'm going to ask for volunteers now. So I'll just send out a note and we can start building from there. If you have some strong ideas, it'd be greatly appreciated. Because DAMA itself doesn't have to go through this work right now. We're perfectly structured, all our data is pure and everything. So, but you folks all have organizations working that, like, are not quite sure of the next step or whatever, right? And the idea is that you want to be able to ask somebody.
Bounce ideas off each other.
Yeah, just a whiteboard, right? Or steal slides, maybe. So I think that's it. Well, is it ever?
Gordon, there's 51 people in the room, by the way.
Wow.
You were very right, almost.
Stay tuned for more updates.
So imagine if you could, that you're still writing up on that. So that's where we wanted to go. That's all we wanted to do. I mean, you can't really establish next steps.
In person or online or?
Then we can answer questions like that. Yeah. And so the point is, in person or online, that question was answered for us really quickly in 2019. But I think in person is so much stronger. But like, so for example, on our wild membership system, we can create a kind of a side group for discussions and right, so people can share best practices and stuff. So I think we'll do both because you don't always think of all the questions while you're in the meeting once. And there's also frequency, like you want to have the meetings every day or just Tuesday, Thursdays of every week, or
Right, every day. Oh my goodness.
yeah. So like, those are still to be resolved. It'll probably take could take weeks to get this organized. Sorry, that was my humor. Any questions or?